Have you ever watched a player lose a match but somehow become the biggest story of the entire tournament? That's exactly what happened at Wimbledon 2026. While champions celebrated their victories and lifted trophies, one name continued dominating headlines long after her final match had ended: Alex Eala. She didn't leave London as the Wimbledon champion, but she walked away with something just as valuable: the respect of tennis legends, the admiration of millions of fans, and the attention of the entire sporting world. For the Philippines, this wasn't simply another Grand Slam appearance. It felt like history unfolding in real time. Every time Alex stepped onto the grass courts, more people tuned in. Social media buzzed with excitement, television audiences grew, and thousands of fans proudly waved Philippine flags throughout the grounds of the All England club. Suddenly, one question echoed everywhere: when does Alex Eala play next? That single question perfectly captured the impact she had made. She wasn't just winning tennis matches. She was inspiring an entire nation and introducing millions of people to a sport they had never followed before. Coming into Wimbledon, Alex was already considered one of the brightest young talents in women's tennis. She had impressed fans with several outstanding performances earlier in the season, proving she could challenge some of the biggest names on the WTA Tour. But Wimbledon presented an entirely different challenge. Grass is one of the most difficult surfaces in tennis. The ball moves faster, rallies become shorter, and players must make decisions in a split second. Many experienced professionals struggle to adapt to these unique conditions. Yet Alex looked completely comfortable. From her opening match, she played with confidence beyond her years. There was no sign of fear or hesitation. Instead, she competed with remarkable composure, showing the kind of maturity usually seen in players with far more experience. Every match revealed another strength in her game. Her movement around the court was smooth and fearless. Her shot selection was intelligent. Her defense frustrated opponents. And perhaps most importantly, her determination never disappeared. Even during difficult moments, Alex refused to surrender easy points. She chased every ball, extended rallies, and forced opponents to earn every single game. That relentless fighting spirit quickly became one of the defining images of her Wimbledon campaign. Tennis analysts also pointed out another important advantage that separates Alex from many players on tour. She is left-handed. That may sound like a simple detail, but at the professional level, it creates real problems for opponents. Since most players compete against right-handed opponents throughout their careers, facing a talented left-hander requires constant adjustments. Different serving angles, different spins, different rally patterns. Alex used those natural advantages brilliantly throughout the tournament. But being left-handed alone doesn't explain her success. What truly impressed experts was the variety in her game. She isn't a player who depends on one single weapon. Instead, she constantly changes pace, mixes her shots, and keeps opponents guessing. Her serve can be powerful when needed. It can also be sliced wide to pull opponents off the court. Or she can add heavy topspin to force awkward returns. That level of versatility is rare for someone still early in her professional career. Every round she survived increased both her confidence and the excitement surrounding her remarkable run. Soon, something extraordinary began happening around Wimbledon. Crowds started growing larger. Practice courts became packed. Fans waited hours hoping to catch a glimpse of Alex during warm-ups. People who originally came to watch other matches suddenly found themselves cheering for the young Filipina. The atmosphere whenever she played felt completely different. There was genuine excitement in the air. Philippine flags filled sections of the stadium. Supporters celebrated every winner as if it were championship point. Even neutral spectators found themselves becoming Alex Eala fans. The energy wasn't created through marketing campaigns or media hype. It happened naturally because people genuinely loved watching her compete. Back home in the Philippines, the excitement reached another level entirely. Families woke up before sunrise to watch matches live. Restaurants and sports bars organized viewing parties. Social media feeds filled with highlights, celebrations, and messages of support after every victory. For a country where basketball and volleyball usually dominate sports conversations, tennis suddenly became the center of national attention. That alone showed how powerful Alex's influence had become. She wasn't simply representing the Philippines. She was changing how people viewed the sport itself. Many fans admitted they had never watched a full tennis match before. Now they couldn't wait for Alex's next appearance. Children started dreaming about picking up tennis rackets. Parents began encouraging their kids to learn the sport. One athlete had sparked a movement. As Alex continued making history, international media also began paying close attention. News outlets around the world started telling the story of the young Filipina who refused to be intimidated by the biggest stage in tennis. Commentators praised not only her talent but also her composure under pressure. Match after match, she proved she belonged among the world's best players. By reaching the fourth round of Wimbledon, Alex achieved something no Filipina had accomplished in the Open era. It wasn't just another milestone. It was a historic moment that inspired millions of people across the Philippines and introduced a new generation of fans to professional tennis. And although her unforgettable Wimbledon journey would eventually come to an end, one thing had already become crystal clear. Alex Eala hadn't just played in Wimbledon. She had become one of the biggest stories of the entire tournament. As Alex Eala's remarkable Wimbledon journey continued, one thing became impossible to ignore. Her success wasn't built on luck, favorable draws, or a few fortunate moments. It was the result of years of hard work, discipline, and steady improvement. Match after match, she demonstrated qualities that convinced tennis experts she was no longer just a promising young talent. She was becoming a genuine threat to anyone standing across the net. One of the biggest reasons behind her rapid rise is the versatility of her game. Modern women's tennis is often dominated by power hitters who rely on aggressive baseline rallies, but Alex brings something different. She combines speed, intelligence, and tactical awareness, allowing her to adapt to different opponents instead of playing the same style every match. Her left-handed serve continues to give opponents problems, but it's her ability to mix things up that makes her especially dangerous. One serve comes flat with pace, the next swings wide with heavy slice, and another jumps high with topspin. That variety prevents opponents from finding a comfortable rhythm and forces them to constantly adjust. Once the rally begins, Alex becomes even more difficult to play against. She refuses to give away easy points. Balls that seem impossible to reach somehow come back over the net, turning defense into attack within seconds. Her court coverage, anticipation, and determination frustrate opponents who often have to hit 2 or 3 extra shots just to finish a single point. These qualities quickly earn the respect of players and coaches throughout the tennis world. Experienced champions understand how difficult it is to rise through the professional ranks. They know the sacrifices, the constant travel, the pressure, and the mental strength required to compete week after week. That's why praise from fellow professionals means so much. Respect on the WTA Tour isn't given freely, it has to be earned. And Alex Eala earned plenty of it during Wimbledon. Many analysts also reminded fans that this breakthrough didn't happen overnight. Those who had followed her career closely had already seen signs of greatness developing. Her impressive victories earlier in the season showed that she could challenge elite players on the biggest stages. Wimbledon simply introduced her to a much larger global audience. What impressed people just as much as her tennis was the way she handled success. Despite attracting international attention, Alex remained calm, humble, and focused. During interviews, she spoke with remarkable maturity, never allowing excitement to turn into overconfidence. She celebrated her victories with genuine emotion but also accepted difficult moments with grace and professionalism. That attitude made fans admire her even more. One interview in particular stood out. When asked about the pressure of representing the Philippines on one of tennis' biggest stages, Alex gave an answer that touched people around the world. Instead of talking about her own challenges, she spoke about ordinary Filipino parents who work tirelessly every day to provide for their families. She explained that their responsibilities were far greater than anything she experienced on a tennis court. It was a simple statement, but it revealed the kind of person she is. Even as her popularity grew, she stayed grounded. That humility became one of the biggest reasons people connected with her beyond tennis. Meanwhile, her popularity around Wimbledon continued reaching incredible levels. Practice sessions attracted large crowds, Fans waited patiently for hours just to take a photo or receive an autograph. Tournament staff quickly noticed that wherever Alex appeared, spectators naturally gathered. People weren't only interested because she was winning. They enjoyed watching her compete. Every match felt exciting. Every rally kept fans on the edge of their seats. Every victory seemed to inspire even more people. Perhaps nowhere was that excitement greater than in the Philippines. Across the country, communities organized public viewing events. Families woke before sunrise to watch her matches live from London. Social media became flooded with messages of encouragement, highlight clips, and celebrations after every win. For those unforgettable weeks, tennis united an entire nation. Children who had never watched professional tennis suddenly dreamed of becoming the next Alex Eala. Parents began encouraging their kids to pick up a racket. Coaches reported growing interest in the sport. Her influence extended far beyond the scoreboard. She wasn't simply climbing the rankings. She was inspiring a new generation. Even after her Wimbledon journey ended, the conversation surrounding Alex didn't slow down. In fact, many people continued talking about her more than some of the players still competing for the title. Sports networks replayed her biggest moments. Fans shared videos of her incredible rallies. Commentators discussed what her future might look like. Everyone seemed to agree on one thing. This was only the beginning. Of course, bigger expectations will now follow her wherever she plays. Opponents will prepare more carefully. The media will pay closer attention. Every tournament will bring greater pressure than the last. But Wimbledon showed something important. Alex Eala doesn't fear pressure. She embraces it. She learns from every experience. And she continues improving. At only 21 years old, she still has enormous room to grow. Many of today's Grand Slam champions didn't reach their peak until their mid-20s. If Alex continues developing at this pace, there is every reason to believe her greatest achievements are still ahead. Whether it's winning a WTA title, breaking into the world's top rankings, or one day lifting a Grand Slam trophy, the foundation has already been built. She has the talent. She has the mindset. She has the work ethic. And perhaps most importantly, she now has millions of supporters who believe in her journey. Wimbledon 2026 may not have ended with Alex Eala holding the famous trophy above her head, but it accomplished something just as meaningful. It introduced the world to one of the brightest young stars in women's tennis and reminded everyone that true success isn't measured only by championships. Sometimes it's measured by the people you inspire, the barriers you break, and the hope you create for future generations. Alex Eala arrived at Wimbledon as a rising prospect. She left as a global inspiration. And if this incredible tournament was only the beginning, then the next chapter of her story could be even more unforgettable. So the real question isn't whether Alex Eala will make history again.